Disabled little girl abandoned by her mom at the bus stop. What the lonely CEO did will shock you. The snow fell softly on Maple Street that December evening, each flake catching the glow of the streetlights like tiny diamonds. Marcus Chen stood at the bus stop, his expensive wool coat dusted with white, watching the last shoppers hurry home with their packages. At 42, he had everything a man could want. A corner office on the 35th floor, a penthouse apartment, a luxury car waiting in the garage, everything except someone to share it with. He checked his watch. The bus was late again. That's when he heard it. A small sound, almost lost in the winter wind, crying. Not the loud wailing of a tantrum, but the quiet, heartbroken sobbing of a child trying to be brave. Marcus turned and saw her. A little girl sat in a wheelchair at the far end of the bus shelter, maybe 6 or 7 years old, with golden hair that fell past her shoulders. She wore a red velvet dress, the kind mothers save for special occasions, and white tights with little beige boots, but there was no mother beside her. No one at all. Marcus glanced around. The street was emptying fast as the snow picked up. Surely someone was with her, a parent running into a nearby shop perhaps. He waited, shifting his briefcase from one hand to the other. 5 minutes passed, then 10. The little girl's crying had quieted to soft sniffles, but Marcus could see her shoulders shaking. He couldn't just leave her there. Despite the wall he'd built around his heart after his divorce 3 years ago, despite telling himself he preferred solitude, he couldn't walk away from a child alone in the cold. He approached slowly, not wanting to frighten her. "Hello there," he said gently, kneeling down so he wasn't towering over her. "I'm Marcus. Are you waiting for someone?" The little girl looked up at him with blue eyes full of tears. Her lower lip trembled. "Mama said to wait here," she whispered. "She said she'd come back." Marcus felt something twist in his chest. "When did she leave, sweetheart?" "After school." The girl's voice was so small. "She pushed me here and said she had to go get something. She said to wait and be a good girl." Marcus pulled out his phone and checked the time. It was nearly 6 o'clock. School's let out at 3. 3 hours. This child had been sitting here alone for 3 hours. "What's your name?" he asked, keeping his voice calm even as anger began to build inside him. What kind of mother would do this? "Lily," she said. "Lily Morrison. That's a beautiful name. Lily, I'm going to sit here with you while we wait, okay? You shouldn't be alone." Lily nodded, looking relieved. Marcus settled onto the cold bench beside her wheelchair, his expensive suit forgotten. He took off his cashmere scarf and gently wrapped it around her shoulders. She was shivering. "Thank you," Lily said quietly. "You're nice. Do you know your mother's phone number?" Marcus asked. Lily shook her head. "Mama's phone got turned off. She said we couldn't pay for it anymore." Marcus's jaw tightened. Another 30 minutes passed. The temperature was dropping and Lily's lips were starting to look pale. Marcus made a decision. "Lily, it's getting very cold out here. I think we should go somewhere warm. There's a diner just down the street. We can see the bus stop from the window. And if your mother comes back, we'll know right away. Would that be okay?" Lily hesitated and Marcus could see her struggling. She'd been told to wait here. She wanted to be a good girl, to do what her mother had asked. "I promise we'll be able to see this exact spot," Marcus said. "And you must be hungry. When did you last eat?" "Breakfast," Lily admitted. "At school. They give us breakfast there." Marcus felt his heart break a little more. He stood and moved behind her wheelchair. "Let's get you warm and fed. Your mother would want that." The diner was nearly empty when they arrived. Just an elderly couple in one booth and a tired waitress, refilling the coffee station. Marcus chose a table right by the window with a perfect view of the bus stop. He helped Lily transfer from her wheelchair to the booth. Struck by how light she was, how fragile. "What sounds good?" he asked, opening the menu. Lily stared at the pictures with wide eyes. "Can I have pancakes?" "You can have anything you want." When the waitress came over, a woman in her 50s named Dottie according to her name tag, she looked at them curiously. Marcus ordered pancakes with chocolate chips for Lily, along with hot chocolate and orange juice. For himself, he ordered coffee and a sandwich he probably wouldn't eat. "You two look like you've been out in the cold," Dottie said kindly, filling Marcus's coffee cup. "We have been," Marcus replied. "It's quite a night out there." As they waited for the food, Marcus learned more about Lily. She loved drawing and had a cat named Whiskers. Her favorite color was purple. She was in first grade, and her teacher's name was Mrs. Patterson. She spoke about her life with the simple honesty of a child, and Marcus found himself both charmed and heartbroken. "Do you have kids?" Lily asked him. Marcus shook his head. "No, I'm not married anymore." "Oh, that's sad." "Sometimes things don't work out the way we plan," Marcus said. "But that's okay. We keep going." "Like me with my legs," Lily said matter-of-factly. "They don't work, but I can still do lots of things. I can draw really good, and I can go fast in my chair when someone pushes me." Marcus smiled. "I bet you can." The food arrived, and Lily ate with the quiet desperation of a child who didn't know where her next meal was coming from. Marcus watched her, his sandwich untouched, his mind working through options. It was nearly 7 o'clock now. 4 hours since Lily's mother had left her. He needed to call someone. Child Protective Services probably. The police. But looking at this little girl, thinking about her being taken away by strangers, put into the system, possibly separated from her mother permanently, made him hesitate. "Lily," he said carefully, "does your mother leave you alone often?" Lily's eyes dropped to her plate. She pushed a piece of pancake around with her fork. "Sometimes," she whispered, "when she has to work. Or when she gets sad." "Sad?" "She cries a lot. Since Daddy left. She says everything's too hard now." Lily looked up at him, and there was something ancient in her young eyes. The wisdom that comes from being forced to grow up too fast. "I try to be good. I don't want to make things harder." Marcus felt tears prick his own eyes. He blinked them back. "Lily, none of this is your fault. You know that, right? You're a wonderful little girl." "Then why did Daddy leave?" The question was so quiet, so full of pain. "Why doesn't Mama want me anymore?" "Oh, sweetheart." Marcus reached across the table and took her small hand in his. "I'm sure your mother loves you very much. Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes. Sometimes they get overwhelmed and don't know what to do." Even as he said it, he wasn't sure he believed it. What kind of love leaves a disabled child alone at a bus stop in the snow? They sat there for another hour. Marcus bought Lily ice cream. They colored on the paper placemats with crayons Dottie brought over. Lily drew a picture of a house with a garden, full of flowers and a girl in a wheelchair playing with a cat. She drew a sun shining down, bright and yellow. "That's beautiful," Marcus said. "It's what I wish for," Lily told him. "A happy place where nobody's sad." At 8:30, Marcus made his decision. He paid the bill, leaving Dottie a generous tip, and helped Lily back into her wheelchair. "Where are we going?" Lily asked as he pushed her out into the cold night. "To make sure you're safe," Marcus said. The police station was warm and fluorescent bright. The officer at the desk, a woman with kind eyes and graying hair, listened to Marcus's story with growing concern. "And you say the mother left her at 3 o'clock?" Officer Janet Reynolds asked. "That's what Lily told me." Officer Reynolds knelt down in front of Lily. "Sweetheart, I'm going to need to make some phone calls. Is there anyone else we can call? Grandparents? An aunt or uncle?" Lily shook her head. "Just Mama and me." The next few hours were difficult. They moved to a small room with a couch and toys. A social worker arrived, a gentle man named David who brought Lily a stuffed bear. Marcus stayed, unable to leave, claiming he needed to give a complete statement. The truth was he couldn't abandon her, not now. At nearly 11 o'clock, the door burst open. A woman rushed in, her hair disheveled, her coat buttoned wrong, mascara smeared down her cheeks. She was young, maybe 30, and the resemblance to Lily was unmistakable. "Lily!" she cried. Oh God, Lily. She fell to her knees in front of the wheelchair and pulled Lily into her arms, sobbing. Lily clung to her mother, crying too. "Mama, you came back." "You came back." Marcus watched this reunion with conflicting emotions. Relief that the mother had returned. Anger at what she'd done. Confusion about what happened next. Officer Reynolds pulled the mother, Jennifer Morrison, into another room. Through the partially open door, Marcus could hear fragments of the conversation. I'm so sorry," Jennifer was saying. "I just couldn't take it anymore. Being alone, no money, no help. I thought if I left her somewhere public, someone would take her. Someone who could give her a better life. Someone who wasn't failing her every single day. Mrs. Morrison, abandoning your child is not the answer. I know that now. I got 3 blocks away and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do it. But I was so scared to go back. I thought she'd hate me. I thought you'd take her away. I walked around for hours trying to get the courage to come back. And then I saw police at the bus stop and I knew someone had found her and I just... The sobs that followed were the sound of a person completely broken. Marcus stood there listening and felt his anger begin to shift into something more complex. He thought about his own life. The money he'd accumulated, the success he'd achieved, the emptiness he felt in his perfectly decorated apartment. He thought about Lily's drawing of her wished-for life. He thought about second chances. When Jennifer Morrison emerged from the room, escorted by Officer Reynolds and David the social worker, her eyes were red and swollen. She looked at Marcus with shame and gratitude mixed together. "You're the one who found her," she said. "You kept her safe." "She's a special little girl," Marcus replied. "I know." Jennifer's voice broke. "I know she is. I'm a terrible mother." "You're a struggling mother," Marcus corrected gently. "There's a difference." David the social worker stepped forward. "Mrs. Morrison, we're going to need to do a home visit. We'll need to assess the situation, but given the circumstances, and given that you came back, we're going to give you a chance to make this right. You'll need to attend counseling. We'll connect you with support services. If you're willing to accept help, we can work through this." Jennifer nodded frantically. "Anything. I'll do anything. Please don't take her from me. She's all I have." Marcus cleared his throat. Everyone looked at him. "If I may," he said, "I'd like to help." Jennifer stared at him. "What?" "I'd like to help your family. If you'll allow me." Over the next hour, as Lily dozed on the couch wrapped in a police department blanket, Marcus explained his idea. He owned several properties, including a small house in a quiet neighborhood that had been sitting empty since he'd bought the building next door for development. Jennifer and Lily could live there rent-free while Jennifer got back on her feet. He had connections at the children's hospital where he served on the board. He could help arrange better medical care for Lily. He knew people who ran job training programs. "Why would you do this?" Jennifer asked, tears streaming down her face. "You don't know us." Marcus looked over at Lily, sleeping peacefully, her small hand clutching the stuffed bear David had given her. "Because everyone deserves a second chance," he said. "Because I have more than I need and you need more than you have. Because that little girl drew a picture tonight of a happy place where nobody's sad. And I think we can help make that real." He paused, then added more quietly, "And because I've been alone for a long time. Success doesn't mean much when you have no one to share it with. Maybe you'd be helping me as much as I'd be helping you." Jennifer covered her face with her hands and sobbed. Officer Reynolds handed her a tissue box. David the social worker smiled. "This is highly unusual," David said. "But if Mrs. Morrison agrees, and if the home visit goes well, and if we set up proper oversight, I think this could work. It might be exactly what this family needs." Jennifer looked up at Marcus. "I don't know how to thank you." "Don't thank me yet," Marcus said with a small smile. "Wait and see if you still like me after I show up with a job counselor and start pestering you about keeping appointments." For the first time that night, Jennifer laughed. It was a small laugh, shaky and uncertain, but it was real. That was 5 years ago.
Now on another snowy December evening,
Marcus Chen sits in the living room of a small house on Elm Street. It's decorated for Christmas, with a tree in the corner and lights strung across the windows. Lily, now 11 years old and growing more independent every day, sits at the dining table doing homework. She's gotten good with her wheelchair, zipping around the house with the confidence Marcus knew she'd have. Jennifer comes out of the kitchen carrying 3 mugs of hot chocolate. She's different now, more solid somehow, more present. She completed her counseling, finished a medical coding certification program, and has been working at the hospital for 3 years. She's even started dating, cautiously, carefully. "Marcus, you're staying for dinner, right?" she calls. "Lily and I are making lasagna." Marcus smiles. He comes here twice a week now, sometimes more. He's watched Lily grow. He's helped her with school projects and attended her art shows. He's been there for doctor appointments and the day she got her first motorized wheelchair. He's become, in the way that families are sometimes built by choice rather than blood, an uncle of sorts, or maybe a father figure. Labels don't seem to matter much. "I wouldn't miss it," he says. Lily wheels over to him, holding out a piece of paper. Look what I drew today. It's a picture of 3 people standing in front of a small house. A woman, a girl in a wheelchair, and a man in a suit. Above them, the sun shines bright and yellow. That's us, Lily says proudly. My family. Marcus feels his throat tighten. He takes the drawing carefully like the treasure it is. It's perfect, he manages to say. I know, Lily grins. I'm really good at drawing now. You should see what Mrs. Patterson said about my art portfolio. She thinks I could maybe go to art school someday if I keep practicing. You can do anything you set your mind to, Marcus tells her. I've always known that. Later, after dinner, after Lily has gone to bed and Jennifer is washing dishes, Marcus stands at the window looking out at the snow. He thinks about that night 5 years ago. How he almost didn't stop, almost ignored the sound of crying, almost let someone else handle it. He thinks about how one moment of compassion can change everything. You saved us, you know, Jennifer says quietly, coming to stand beside him. We would have been destroyed by that night, but you gave us a chance to become something better. Marcus shakes his head. You saved yourselves. You did the work. I just helped a little. You gave us more than help. You gave us hope. You showed Lily that there are good people in the world who care. You showed me that mistakes don't have to define us, that we can rebuild. She pauses, then adds, and I think we helped you too. You smile now. You didn't used to smile. Marcus realizes she's right. The emptiness he used to feel in his penthouse apartment has been filled by Tuesday dinners and Saturday morning pancakes and birthday parties for a little girl who calls him Uncle Marcus. The success he'd achieved finally means something, because he's using it to make a difference in lives that matter to him. You did help me, he admits. You taught me that family isn't always about biology. It's about showing up. It's about being there when someone needs you. They stand together in comfortable silence, watching the snow fall. In the next room, Lily sleeps safely in her bed, surrounded by her drawings and her books and her stuffed animals. Tomorrow she'll go to school, where she has friends and teachers who care about her. She'll come home to a mother who has learned how to ask for help and accept it. She'll have dinner with her Uncle Marcus, who will help her with her math homework and tell her stories about his workday. She'll grow up knowing that she is loved. That snowy December evening 5 years ago, Marcus Chen had stood at a bus stop with everything a man could want except someone to share it with. He'd found a crying child and made a choice. Now he has a family, not the family he'd imagined when he was younger, not the traditional path he thought his life would take, but a family built on compassion, on second chances, on the simple choice to care. And isn't that what the holidays are really about? Not the perfect Norman Rockwell painting, but the messy, beautiful reality of people who show up for each other, who choose kindness when it would be easier to walk away, who believe that we all deserve a place where nobody's sad, where the sun shines bright and yellow, where we are loved just as we are. Marcus smiles watching the snow fall and feels grateful for the crying child who changed his life. The best gifts he has learned are never the ones we expect. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe to our channel for more stories about kindness, hope, and the connections that make us human. Leave a comment below and tell us about a time someone showed you unexpected kindness, or when you were able to help someone in need. Your stories matter and we'd love to hear them.